Mr. DJ Rose, Verteezy, and C's, welcome you to the No More Black Tears podcast.
Black tears that's heaven sent. Barack the first black president. I love my black skin. I love walking in black excellence. Black power, let's represent. All black, that's evident. I'm sure MLK and Malcolm X both didn't die for the hell of it. Strap your seatbelt, go and sell our land. What makes you think that we would sell our land? We wouldn't sell our land. What makes you think that we would go ahead and try to sell out then? No more black tears, black on black kids. Love us as is, love with passion. Paying black bills, learning black skills, making black meals. Black is backing. Big shout out to Fred Hampton. I'm black and proud like I'm James Brown, but I ain't doing no acting. My people here from the motherland. This podcast now active.
No More Black Tears podcast. You know what I'm saying? We back in the building. You know what I'm saying? Second episode of 2026. You know what I'm saying? We back here. You know, we got Juicy Man in the building.
Merry New Year.
I mean, I got Verteezy and C's in the building. You know what I'm saying? So we back. You know what I'm saying? We do it for our people, man. We do it for the people. We talking about tonight.
Yeah, so the first topic of the night is going to be a conversation that Fabulous was saying when he was talking on the podcast, saying people need to stop looking at celebrities as role models and people that you know as role models and your parents. You know, C's, what's your thoughts on what Fabulous had to say?
I completely agree, man. First of all, shout out to Fab, man. He's one of them rappers that can literally fucking spit. And I mean, low key, you know, he's got the pod with Jim Jones, Mano, and Davies. It's solid. I ain't seen a full episode, but the clips I've seen, I like. But I completely agree, though, man. It's like, why are you looking up to people that you will never meet? You can get inspiration. I mean, in a way, it's like I pretty much agree, but it's like you can look at them as inspiration and shit, you know, like things to look forward to. But it's like you got to look at people around you, even if it's a teacher or somebody. There's somebody in your life that's doing something positive. They ain't got to be making a bunch of money or be famous and well known. Like, oh, they're the hottest in the city. They doing this, they doing that, man. The mayor or this. Like, nah, look around you. And if you ain't got that around you, be that person. Shit, you know, start with yourself. So, I mean, it's always been a thing. And we look out throughout history, man, that's how shit originally was. Before you had radio, TV, books, print and shit, who it was, you used to look at like, oh, he's the best blacksmith in town, in the village. Oh, he's the best, the biggest, toughest warrior. I want to be like him. That's what people used to look up to. It was like, yo, I want to be like this person that I touch and see every day or somebody that's in it. And it's like, we go back to like, you know, segregation and Jim Crow. It's like in your neighborhood, you had a doctor up the block. You had a black doctor, or just not just black people, but in your neighborhood, in the city, the vicinity you lived in, there was somebody that you could actually look. Maybe when you're a child, you're like, they ain't doing shit. Like he's a fucking baker. I don't want to be a baker. But I mean, like as you grow older, you're like, yo, you know, Mr. Johnny the baker, man, he's had his store for all my life and he's passing on to his son. You know, I want to be able to do something like that, or a doctor, or, you know, something and somewhere you can do that. But, and I see, to me, sports is a little bit different because it's like, I feel like every kid that watches sports, you hold them in a different light. So I'll say athletes I'm going to personally put them in little bit of a different category, but it's more so you're looking at them. For me, when I was a kid, I was looking at them for the skill, not the type of people they were until I got older. That's when I started looking at, like, oh, what do people do like around in their community? That's when I really started. But I mean, we go back to like looking at people like, you always bring up the conversation, like the drug dealer, like, you know, he gave back to the community. It was like some D-boy on the street that used to give us candy, you know, money for candy and shit like that, like turkey. So it's like you had those people to look up, and it's like not necessarily the whole person concept. Fuck that, because you know everybody does dirt. So, but it's like we need to go back. Like people, there's literally people talking about they're fasting from social media. They're turning their phone off. They're seeing the flake shit. Like influencers are losing their fucking influence. So I mean, shit is changing, and people are actually paying attention. So I think this is a good trend, man, to see, and it's the reality.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. The second half of what you were saying like that's why what Fabulous said was kind of confusing me because like I feel like they're probably all people that look at celebrities as role models in terms of like just being people. But I really always thought about it more for the second half of what you were saying. So like I never looked at it like people looked up to Kobe Bryant as like, yo, I should be like him as a person because you don't know that man. But as far as like the work ethic that he puts into his craft, I feel like that's a good way to follow your aspect of just life in general. Like I should work hard and give my all to whatever I'm trying to do. Like I feel like that's something that you can, aspire to be like. Like when I hear stories about Beyonce, I think it was maybe the Lemonade album. She locked herself in her studio for like a week or whatever, and really just shut herself off from the world and just created this masterpiece of an album and wasn't doing all this other stuff. And there was sometimes during that whole week that she didn't even sleep within a 24-hour span because she was just so focused on her craft. I do feel like I don't see an issue in aspiring to be great at whatever you're trying to do. Like whether it's just you cut hair as a barber, you work in law enforcement, you work in the medical field, you just want to work on fitness or whatever. Like we all get 24 hours in a day. We all should aspire to greatness like that. Now, as far as like being, better people or being better humanitarians and living our life better, I do feel like, yeah, you should probably try to look at people that you actually know, that you see on a day-to-day basis what they're probably doing. Like they go to work every day, they get up even when they're sick, they don't call out of work like that, or you don't see them mistreat women, or you see this woman and she's not mischievous or promiscuous and stuff like that. I feel like from that standpoint, I can understand what Fabulous is saying because yeah, there's a lot of these celebrities that have these squeaky clean images, but at the end of the day, you just really don't know what they got going on behind closed doors. But to be fair, you can say that about the everyday people because there's people who grew up in two-parent households that they didn't find out that their mom or dad was stepping out on their father or mother till they was like 30-something years old. So you really never know what someone is doing when you're not with them. You can only go off of the example that you see that person is. That's why sometimes I do feel for a lot of these people, like some of these people that hate for Bill Cosby, and they'll say, yo, I can only talk on the man that I know, So, because when I'm with this person, this is how they are. This is how I see them conduct themselves. But I'm not with Juice Man 24/7. I'm not with Rose 24/7. I'm not with C's 24/7. But I can speak on the character of y'all as men when I'm with y'all.
Right. So the way I see it is Fabulous is trying to speak in the sense of a role model should be a job. And what I mean by that is there should be a certain, how you got what they're called. They're called people that motivate you, a motivational speaker. He's a person that his job is to motivational speak. And we should have people that we put in a bracket as that is a role model. Role model should be somebody like person that we need in today's time, that we need to survive and we need to get on. So a carpenter, an electrician, a plumber, a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher. Those are role models. Being a rapper is not a role model. Being an athlete is not a role model. Even though they are, in a sense, that we look at them as such, that's not their job. Their job is to play basketball. Their job is to play football. Their job is to wrestle. Their job is to sing. That's it. That's their job.
Well, can I ask a question? And this is another aspect of the conversation I feel like doesn't really get talked about. Mm. If I want to be an engineer and my neighbor's an engineer, why can't he be a role model to me? So like if you want to be a rapper,
that's cool.
And you listen to Lil Wayne music, like I don't see no problem with you looking at someone that is doing it on a professional level and saying, this is what I'm aspiring to be.
Yeah, but a lot of people, they don't understand. Okay, a role model is somebody who knows people are looking at them and they're aspiring to be them. A lot of these people don't want to be a number two. So what I mean by that is they don't want somebody to duplicate what they do. You see what I'm saying?
I think are leaving out the conversation of influence from celebrity.
Yeah, so
the celebrity shouldn't matter.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into that a little bit because I think Fabulous, he said that because he doesn't want to take responsibility for all the bad that he's done to the community. You know what I'm saying? Because all the rappers and people, entertainers, all the bad that they have done to the community, they don't want to take responsibility for all that. They'll be like, don't look up to us because I'm not a role model, but you are. All the internet stuff that you promote, all this other stuff to promote, you're promoting this stuff and you're making money off of it. You are a role model, but he trying to say, oh, don't look at me as a role model because he don't want to take responsibility for all the bad stuff he's done.
I do agree with that
I
part
see
of the
what you're saying,
conversation because like Charles Barkley had that commercial in the 90s that I'm not a role model. And I feel like that is a big part of the conversation. Like, you know, you have to be mindful that when you become famous and you become a celebrity, people are looking at you and there are people that look up to you. And, you know, I talked about, last year by John Cena, like the inspiration he is to millions of kids. Like there are people that's my age that grew up watching John Cena. And there's like kids that's 7 years old that look up to John Cena. And that is a lot of pressure to try to be, I ain't gonna say the perfect individual, but the best you can. And I feel like as a society, we look too much at the people that are fucking up, but we don't talk enough about someone like Steph Curry. Like Isaiah Thomas just did a whole speech about Steph Curry is who we want the league to be modeled after. He's a family man. You don't hear
LeBron James.
No, LeBron James is an example, but he was just talking about Steph Curry because we don't talk about him enough. Yeah. Like when have you really heard Steph Curry outside of the NBA get involved in some bullshit? Like he's a nigga who show up to work, and when we see him talk about his wife and his kids, and even if his wife does some crazy shit online, he still defends her. Like you get someone like LeBron James, like he's a very positive role model, family man, at least from what we can see. He does stuff in the community and stuff like that. Like these are some of the stories we probably should talk about more. The people that are actually doing things the right way and actually living the right way. But for some reason, we do get caught up into a lot of the negative publicity. Like the last 5 years, I don't know if there's a celebrity that we might have talked about more. And I'm not talking about the podcast, I'm talking about society, like Kanye West. Like why is he getting so much attention when there's plenty of celebrities that are just literally doing what the fuck they supposed to be doing in their communities?
That goes back to what Brian was saying, though. They got to, as celebrities, have to take more accountability to the fact that they are influencers.
Yeah. That's it.
Yes. But I first role model a kid should have, like, it's going to, and should have, but it's going to be their parents or their siblings or whatnot. So it's like, it all starts within. So it's like, yes, you can say like, Fabulous, he ain't living up to what he's supposed to be doing as an influencer. But if your home situation is supposed to be where it's supposed to be at, the kids are supposed to be looking up to, oh, my dad or my mom or my big brother or my big sister does something. You know what I'm saying? If the age gap is big enough, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's technically, yeah, role models should be somebody that you know and seeing and things like that. But when this thing called internet came out, Facebook and Instagram and
it was before that, man.
It wasn't before that because you couldn't see nobody.
But you seen them on TV.
Yeah, but
you didn't know their life.
But Malcolm X said it best. We in the black community have always put celebrities on this pedestal.
Yeah, but it was an invisible pedestal. That shit is ignorant now.
Now we just got more access to them.
Correct.
Yeah, but we've always, like Jim Brown. People looked up to him back in the day. He was a woman beater. People looked up to Richard Pryor back in the day. He did coke. Like
y'all looked up the people that y'all didn't know.
No, I'm not saying me. I'm saying like there are comedians who would tell you, like someone like Keanu Reeves. He did. If you can go look at it, when they honor Richard Pryor, he literally cried saying, "I looked up to this man." So there's plenty of people that looked up to.
That's admiration.
Yeah, but so as a person, who did you look up to, or who was your person that, oh, I want to be like this person?
I had plenty of people that I wanted to be like.
Like who?
I mean, I wanted to be like my grandfather. Like I respected him, but Kobe, I liked his work ethic. Like I wanted to work as hard as Kobe did.
How did you know? How did you know how hard Kobe worked?
Well, from the practice they've shown, the interviews they've done, like stuff like that.
So
like,
from the internet.
No, because this was before the internet. This is when they would actually show you, like they would show you stuff. They would do these think pieces on ESPN back in the day. So like 60 Minutes on ESPN back in the
It's
day.
your perception of what
you know.
So you didn't see it personally. You had to take that from a third party medium. That's what you explained to you.
Yeah, no, I didn't see it personally, but there was plenty of people that were saying, yo, Kobe spent this much time in the gym and stuff like that. And then I saw the results on the court too. And that made me be like, yo, I want to like work that hard, you know? And I would see players like him and someone like a T.O. like to this day, one of the most inspirational things I've seen was T.O. playing Super Bowl on one leg. Like that made me be like, yo, if I'm sick, I'm gonna punch in at my job. I'm gonna work.
Yeah.
You know? So like you see stuff like that. Like we see players play in fucked up positions, like whether they're sick or whether they're physically broken, and they still give you everything they got. And that should inspire you as someone.
That doesn't. Yes. I understand that as a fan, but that ain't inspiration to me.
Why not? Why is that not inspiring that someone like T.O. on one leg?
Because he gets paid millions of dollars.
But guess what? He got contemporary.
He gets paid millions of dollars.
But perception. But time out. That's so disrespectful to say that because there's how many other players be hurt and don't play and they get
like I just said. How's that? To me, like I said to you.
Because to me,
it's I said to me, it's not.
But
that's all I said.
I'm saying that's disrespectful.
It's not disrespectful.
I'm telling you why I think it's disrespectful.
It's not though.
It's disrespectful because it goes back to like one of the reasons why you admire someone like Kobe. Like even if I'm banged up, I know that y'all pay money to see me, and I'm only come to Atlanta once a year. I play in this game, even though I'm gonna get a check no matter what.
That's his job.
It is his job. But how many? We talk about load management today.
Mm-hmm.
How many players sit out of games nowadays?
But
during the time period, had players like KG, Tim Duncan, Kobe. Like that's something that should be in mind. Like that's what I mean by we take for granted stuff that people are supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And we shouldn't do that in society. Like just because you think someone's supposed to do this, just because you're supposed to take care of your kids. When you see a man actually doing his job, you should be like, yo, there's so many people not doing their job. I admire and respect that.
Yeah, that's a different between admire and respect it, but
you can look up to that.
You can look up to it, but it's like, but how do you know it's real?
How do I know it's real? You don't know nothing in life is real.
You know it's real if you touch it.
But you don't. I don't know what y'all do when I'm not around y'all.
You know what y'all do when you touch it.
Y'all.
You know it's real when you touch it.
You have more of an understanding of us because
you're
around us.
Yeah, but I do have more of a better understanding of y'all. But at the end of the day, you truly still don't know what anybody do when you're not around them.
So
I can only go off of the information I have.
To me, society has created this monster with the term celebrity because it's like looking at throughout history, man. I mean, we probably had celebrities, maybe what I consider coined celebrities, maybe 200 years. You know what I'm saying? Like when you had press and media, shit like that. So it's like you literally created a monster where people like they'll never meet Beyonce in their life, but they're like, oh, that's my role model. So like the terms are gonna be exchanged in different ways. So I mean, it's kind of like y'all said, it's two different trains of argument. It's you got people who Bertizzi is looking at it can be inspiring, they can be a role model, and the other people are looking at it like the other group is that's not what I consider motivation or who I consider the role model. So
it's insane because you got someone like Beyonce you just named.
It's
a lot of people, a lot of women nowadays look at some of these female rappers like a Cola Ray, like a Sexy Red, like a Haley Bailey. They are having kids out of wedlock. You got someone like Beyonce that we don't talk enough about the fact of she decided to make sure she got married first. Like that's something that a lot of Black women in our community need to look up at. Like we need to talk more about marriage and be like, we need to bring that back into the forefront and not just having kids out of wedlock. But we're not talking about someone like Simone Biles who did the same thing. She went ahead and got married, not just got married to a Black man. Like these are things that I think should be admirable, should be looked up in the community too, because they are visible and they're using their power to try to be like, yo, I need to be positive and I need to put this out there But it's not their fault. It's not Beyonce's fault. It's the mom's fault that we're not talking about that.
So when you think about it, what is a celebrity though?
Somebody that is famous. Somebody that is in the spotlight.
Okay. And it's getting to the day and the times now that celebrities, they don't really want to be celebrities. They just want the fucking money.
Some do, some don't. I mean, it's always been like that though.
Nah, it is
Because
like
it's getting
that.
to a point now that if you want to meet a celebrity, you just got to pay your money and you meet the celebrity.
I'm not saying celebrities have to be role models. What I'm saying, if someone tells me I look up to Beyonce and they tell me, well, because you know what, she didn't have like these other female rappers and female singers, they got 3 kids with 3 different men. She got 3 kids with 1 man. And she's married to that man and she makes great music.
Yeah, that's
I don't think nothing's wrong with that. I think that's perfectly fine to say that right there when you got all these other bad examples and you got someone out here actually doing what they should be doing as a society, especially if that little girl comes from a background where, guess what? All the women in her family are not married. All the women in her community is not married. And she can see someone that has all this money, that's a very beautiful woman, and is still doing it traditional way. Like sometimes that's why some people might have to look at celebrities as role models because we can't take for granted that everyone's going to have role models in the household. Like you might not have someone to look up in your household or someone to look up to at your school or wherever you are in life. You might have to find someone to look up to outside that just happens to be on the screen.
So what Faz was saying, yeah, I understand what he was saying, but I still, and I understand what everybody is saying, but I still feel like what he was saying, he's trying to deflect and he ain't trying to take responsibility because some people are trying to take responsibility. Some people are doing the right thing. Some celebrities, things like that. But he's saying that because he knows that all the stuff that he done and things like that was saying, oh, you shouldn't look up to us as this, but you can't tell somebody who to look up to. So it's like, as far as you getting paid off all these people that's looking up to you,
society does.
you getting paid for all the stuff that people are looking up to you, you need to be doing a better job as either branding yourself or keeping your stuff under wraps because people are going to look up to you.
Yeah, and that costs more money, and some people don't have that type of money.
I mean, I think it's
Just because you're famous don't mean you have a whole lot of money.
I stand by this. I think it's okay to look at the celebrities, and I think it's okay not to look up to them. I do feel like, you know, what Tupac said back in the day rings in my ear. Like, if you a role model and you just playing a role, that's one thing. But if you're a real model, I'm a real person. Like, if you're just transparent, like I've always respected the fact that DMX was just real. Like he never was just like, yo, I'm gonna play this role. So it's not like I looked at DMX and was like, man, I need to smoke crack like DMX. Like he would say, man, you shouldn't smoke crack. But I smoked crack because someone gave it to me when I was 13 and I'm fucked up. Like it's okay to be a real model. And I feel like,
but he didn't say that in his songs though.
No, he got some songs like that where he talks about his
not his famous songs. Not all this.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you just listen. That's what I'm saying. If you just listen to the main ones, that's cool. But I'm saying, like, for the people who actually listen to his deep music, he got songs like that.
What did he say?
Where he talks about why he started smoking crack, and he actually got a song before he passed away where it's a letter to his son telling his son, "Don't make the same mistakes I made." You know, like he got plenty of beautiful music like that where he's talking about the things in his life that he did wrong and things that he shouldn't have done. But there's other celebrities like that would let you know, like, yo, I'm not a perfect individual. I don't live the perfect life. And if you're doing that, I feel like that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Just don't be out here making it seem like you're someone like Tiger Woods was 15 years ago. You're living the perfect life.
It's not like he was living a perfect life. He was just living his life.
Yeah, but no, that's not the image. That's not the image he put out there. He put out the image that he was a family man.
He was.
That he wasn't cheating on his wife.
He never said that.
No. Because he did commercials that alluded to that.
He never said that. No. He was living his life.
A family man that don't cheat on his wife.
Affluence is about having wealth and money. And while influence could be having power, it affects people and it illusionizes and it sets trends.
Mm-hmm. C's, are we really gonna make this conversation like Tiger Woods didn't try to pretend to be something he wasn't?
He did.
Like, I feel like people trying to rewrite history now. Like, yo, he had commercials back in the day where he was with his family.
What's that got anything to do with him?
And he said, and he had interviews where he talked about how important it was to be a family man and a faithful
What's that
husband.
anything to do with it? What he did?
Pretty much everybody
He said it was important. He said it was important to be a faithful husband.
OJ,
he
even
said that
OJ
in
Simpson.
interviews.
It was.
But he
It
wasn't
was
living that
important.
life.
It was important.
But all I'm saying is like he wasn't living that life. If he would have been more like, yo, bro, I'm out here just living my life. It is what it is. Hey, you probably should do this, but that's not the life I'm living. Like people would have respected it more.
To me, it's
That's
more
everybody's life.
It's more of a choice. It's just like
It's not just celebrities. I agree with you on that, Dre. Like even in people that you know, they're not real about some of the flaws that they have. That's my overall conversation. It's just not celebrities. It's whether you're a role model or not. We should aspire to be real models. Like we should aspire to be like, yo, there are things in my life that's positive. There are things in my life that's bad. Trying to take away the good things in my life, and I'm probably trying to work on the bad things. But like no one's this per individual where it's like everything they do is right. You know, we just so have to put a bigger lens on celebrities.
There was one person. Who? I think his name was Jesus. Jesus. There was only one person. Emmanuel. You know what I'm saying? That was perfect. Everybody else, he flawed, cuz. It is what it is. You ain't perfect. What's up individual? It is what it is.
To me, man, at the end of the day, it's a choice. Just like who you choose to follow, who you choose to let influence you. Just like the celebrity or the role model, they choose. They should take the choice to say, what am I putting out here? What am I gonna let my image be like? What's gonna?
But they don't care.
Some do, some don't. I mean, it's just like everything. It's just like the people you know, like, hey, Mr. Johnny been a wino and a drunk his whole life. He don't give a fuck what nobody say. Versus Mr. Smith down the street, he works hard, goes to work every day.
Yeah, deacon at the church.
And that nigga drink from 9 to 3 in the morning. He drink like a fucking fish. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's literally it's gonna come down to a choice of what are you choosing to put out there? What are you choosing to follow? And it's like, I don't really think it's got to be society and an individual choice to what somebody chooses to follow, whether you're a role model, whether you want to be, whether you don't want to be, you're forced to be, whether you want to follow somebody, whether you want to look at somebody, your mom, your daddy, your auntie, the doctor down the street, the dentist you go to, the construction man you see every day, the teacher, your professor.
Okay, I give you some game. At one time, I aspired to be my father. And I remember this vividly. I was walking behind my father, and he asked me, he said, what you want to be when you grow up? I said, I want to be you. You know what I'm saying? And he stopped me right there. He was like, oh, no.
Don't be like me.
He was like, exactly. He was like, no, don't be like me. I need you to be better than me. I'm not the person you need to be influenced by. I'm not the person you need to be. I'm not him.
I think that's real spit, man, because I feel like it should be like a smorgasbord. There should be multiple people in your life that there's things that they do well. Like even in your friend group, you know, they have qualities. Like in my friend group, each of my friends, they have qualities that is like, yo, I wish I could be more like that, and I aspire to be more like that. Because like I said, no one's perfect at the end of the day. You know, you might have a father that goes to work every day, works hard, and takes care of the family just like Denzel did in Fences. But he might steps out of them. That don't mean you should stop admiring your father. Like, that just means that you might want to aspire to be a more faithful husband than him, but he's a dedicated father though. That's a good characteristic to aspire to be like. Like that is another part that we have to understand is you can't just base your life solely on just one individual. Like your life is a makeup of your environment, all the people you come into contact with, and the people that all have influence on you. You know, like you're not Juiceman. You're not just, you know, based off of just your father. Everyone that has played a part in your life has made you who you is, as well as your own decisions. And that's something that we all have to kind of like realize when it comes to what Fabs was saying about role models. Like it's okay to have a celebrity or two that you do look up to or you do want to aspire to be for whatever reason. But it's also okay to find people in your family, your friends, or people down the street to look up to too, because everyone brings something different to the table. Final thoughts, y'all?
I'll say my final thoughts. I just got tears.
You got tears, C's?
Yeah, I just got tears, bro.
Hey, talking about a celebrity who some people look up to, some people say you shouldn't look up to them. You know, Boosie Badass, Lil Boosie. Tears or no tears?
I got no damn tears. Oh, you want to pander now? Now you want to pander? I get it. You don't want to go to jail, but that I'm not doing that.
What did Boosie do?
I am not doing that.
Yeah, so Boosie went online and basically posted this long message begging Trump to pardon him for his gun charge. And he went and saying, he tried to explain it, how it was so many nuances to it, you know. And he said, Trump, please pardon me, man. Look into my gun case. Under the Biden administration, they tried to do this to me, man.
So Boosie locked up now?
No, he gets sentenced next week.
He gets sentenced, yeah.
For his gun charge in San Diego.
The judge can give him house arrest with time served and just put him on probation, or I think he can face as many as 15 years, if I'm not mistaken, for the gun charge. But it's all to the judge's discretion.
Prosecutors are recommending 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm about to say. When it comes to that, it's all about the money. It's all about the mooyah.
Got it.
Lock him up.
He got to pay.
Lock him up.
That's the system works on the pay system.
State property? No.
But
At that time.
back to my point though, it's like I'm not pandering to somebody like that. I mean, hey, you can do what you want to do at the end of the day, but it's like just go to court and try to get off the regular way. Like, don't all this extra shit, man.
You're fucking up.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I ain't got no tears for Boosie because I remember when he got locked up the first time. Well, not the first time,
7
but
years.
the third time when he's supposed to come to he was supposed to come to Statesboro, do a show. Next day he's supposed to come to Augusta. I went to both the shows, hoping he'd go show up, and he ain't show up to neither one of them.
Oh, damn.
Neither one.
And I kept saying, man, he's locked up. Oh no, he ain't out now. He ain't locked up. He ain't come neither one of them.
All right, that nigga was locked up.
He was locked up. Lock him up again. You know what I'm saying?
Goddamn.
Yeah, man. I don't have no tears, man. You know, Boosie, you should be ashamed of yourself, man. You got caught with the gun, man. You got caught with the tool. Man, where the cars fall, let the cars fall where they may, man. If you gotta do some time, man. But don't be going on this Bill Nye the Science Guy's internet begging this white man to pardon
I
you,
thought it was
man.
Al Gore's
You
internet.
know what makes it easy?
Or Al Gore's internet. It's one of their internet, man.
I hate to say it, but it makes it easy. Give up your estate for your freedom. Which one is it?
And I'm a big Boosie fan.
I love Boosie.
I love Boosie.
But let's make it like that.
But
Your estate.
I don't even matter. He do what he do. I love Boosie. I love everything about him. But no, nigga, you did the crime. You about to do this time.
Yeah, you got to ride that, man. Moving on to another person they might be trying to get a pardon. So there was a New York mom who is charged with manslaughter because apparently in the altercation with her son, her 16-year-old son, she confiscated his phone. He tried to get the phone back. She was in the car, and as she was trying to drive off, he jumped on the hood of the car. He ended up on top of the car to the point where she was driving. He fell off, and unfortunately, he passed away from the injuries. See, what's your thoughts on that?
I got tears because he died over something so trivial. And I don't know what type of state the mom was doing, because I mean, it didn't look like she was going that fast, but at the same time, you would think caution. Let me stop. Let me get this MF, let me get my damn kid off my damn hood of my car. And then the father, obviously they're not together. He said, "Hey, she got what she deserved." It's a very unfortunate situation. It's something so trivial and something that you don't really think too much of. And he ended up, now she's ended up in prison. A father had two parents, lost a child. One of them ended up in prison. They gotta go.
What's the time?
Rest of their lives. She probably get 10 years.
They ain't sentenced her yet.
They ain't sentenced her yet. Bro.
Yeah, but she's looking at manslaughter though.
Oh, she ain't get no time.
Yeah, man. I got tears just because yo, man, some shit it just ain't that deep, y'all, man. Like, and this is the issue when you get like, teenagers and young people, like they just so into their phones. I remember Juice Man earlier tonight was saying how he just left his phone at the crib just because, you just don't even think about it. Like, we just in a generation of young people that your phone is just so valuable that you can't go 5 minutes without it. It reminds me of a story we talked about on the pod in early 2025. It might have been late 2024.
A girl lost her life.
But a girl lost her life at a club in the city because she left her phone in the club, and they said you can't come back in because it's after hours. Come back tomorrow. She didn't want to do that. She got in her car, started trying to ram it her way in. Someone ended up shooting her. She died, and it's like, come on, man. So you couldn't take your drunk ass home, lay the fuck down, wake up tomorrow, and just drive to the club and get your phone?
Entitlement.
Like, yeah, man, tears.
Yeah, I ain't got no tears. Like, I ain't got no tears. Like, she should have stopped. That dummy shouldn't have jumped on the car. And that's why I ain't got no tears. It's like, that's plain and simple. You don't jump on a car. Why? Your mama took your phone. All right, get it later. Your son jumped on the car. All right, stop. Yeah. So it's like, it is or it ain't. Man, I ain't got no tears for neither one of them.
Yeah.
Thankful they ain't me.
Moving on to another, situation involving another mom. So this woman bought a Benz for her mom, gifted it to her mom, but then once her boyfriend lost his car, she then went to her mom and said, I need to repo the Benz because my boyfriend needs some transportation.
Bad reason.
Damn, I did not get that from the store. I misread that. I really thought she just bought the shit in her mom's name.
I misread it. That's what I thought too.
Hey, new information. Now that changes my opinion.
Nah, it was a gift to the mom.
Can't take it back.
You can't take the shit back. You put it in her name, so no tears. It's like,
not even her name. If you give that shit to your mom, that's how she is.
No, legally, if the shit's in your name, it's technically your possession.
It was in the mom's name.
That's what I'm saying. So she gave it to the mom. How you gonna be an Indian giver with some shit you put? It's different if she co-signed. She ain't fucking co-signed.
Yeah, I want to say. I guess she gave it to her mom, put it in her mom's name, but she was paying for it.
That's the agreement y'all agreed upon. But
all you can do is stop paying for it.
Exactly.
I got no tears for that shit because it's like, why did you put it in her name?
I ain't got no tears for it either. I agree with you 100%. See,
it's like this is like literally a case you got to take that shit. Take it straight to civil court. That's all you can do. Like nobody can. Oh, you can fight it and try to get the car back.
No, take that to Judge Mathis. Judge Mathis go say, "You smoke crack, don't you?"
Probably.
Yeah. Oh, you a crackhead? No, I don't got nothing.
That was on some big timer shit. But everything in my mama's name. That's what he was doing.
Yeah, man. I got tears, man, because family disputes like this shouldn't even get to the internet, man. Like there should have been an amicable way to handle this, whether it's the mom takes the boyfriend to work or wherever he got to go until he gets a car. I'm just saying because you bought the mom the car. Like, I don't know how old the mom is.
It don't matter how old she is. I'm not about to take your boyfriend to work or your girlfriend to work because you bought me a car and put it in my name that you paying for.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, and Cole was saying this earlier about like the Hispanic people. Like we gotta have a better sense of community.
Hispanic people ain't doing that either.
No, they do stuff like that. They do stuff like that where they make sure everyone in the household gets to work. So it's like if this is my man and
I bought you together.
But that's what I said. They ain't doing that either.
That's you're my mom. This is my man. It's like, yo, you can't take my man to work. Like I don't see nothing wrong with that. Because if the shoe was on the foot, if my man had a car and my mom needed a way to work, it'd be like, hey, can you make sure my mom get to work? Like I'm just saying, like there should have been a more amicable way for y'all as a family unit to handle this. It shouldn't have got to this point.
I agree with that part.
That's all I'm saying. Whether it's one of y'all use the car and y'all just try to like figure that out, or hey mom, you still got the other car before I bought you this car. Can we get that car and you keep the Benz? Like it should never get to this point where we on the internet talking about family business. So I have tears for that. Something that affected a lot of people. When the government shut down, and apparently, there's this new thing where 18 states at the moment, you cannot use your SNAP benefits on basically like soda and junk food.
Okay.
I don't have tiers because it's a good thing for a large portion of the population to not eat unhealthy foods, but this is the way the country's going anyway. They're gonna start banning substances like the bad five, like yellow, like you look at the packaging, you see 50 fucking ingredients for fucking cookies. It should never be like that. So the same thing with soda, it's like high fructose corn syrup. All the health issues, this is just the next step. If you hate somebody being able to tell you what you're able to eat or have in your food, sorry, that's the way the fucking country's going. Our food's banned in 108 in fucking like 60 something countries. So Europe, you can't get that shit. South America, you can't get that shit. And there's so many other countries. So I mean, I'm not gonna tell you shouldn't be in somebody's household and tell them what they can and can't eat, but you gotta remember, you're supplemented by somebody else. So I guess they can tell you what you can.
I mean, I don't really have no tiers because at the end of the day, it's not benefits, man. You need to try to eat healthy anyway. And if you're not paying for the food yourself, then it should be a situation where I guess it's reasonable that they can tell you, hey, you can't just be buying BS with the food because the food is supposed to actually be helping you get month to month. So yeah, man, I don't have no tiers.
I ain't got no tiers either. Cause I remember when Michelle Obama was in office and she changed the whole school lunch. Nobody had any. People had issues with it, but she was able to do that because they was in control of it. Same thing.
If I'm putting the money up, I can control. I can dictate. And it's like if you don't like it, this would be more than enough motivation for you to get off a SNAP benefit. Oh yeah, ain't gonna tell me I can't have my Coke. You've been drinking. You've had diabetes for the last 10 years, and you still fucking drinking regular Coke, regular Pepsi.
Yeah.
And little Johnny's fat ass is still walking around. You know what I'm saying? Like little kids is big. He's like, why do I look at your cart and your whole cart is nothing but non-perishables, can of beans, damn the big pack of chips.
Nothing wrong with can of beans, but all that other stuff.
All the fake stuff. You got hot Cheetos and Lay's and all that. You don't see not one green thing. And it's like we talked about it like a couple times that we talked about SNAP benefits. It's like you can go to the farmers market. So it's like they're been doing programs. They don't promote it enough. I'll give you that. They don't promote it enough. But you can go to farmers markets and different stores and get real food. Food you can actually cook, like vegetables, meat, and you get it at a reduced rate. So it's like, the choice literally is yours now. So it might be some people probably gonna be like, I'm getting the F off of SNAP so I can buy what I want.
Ain't nobody doing that.
So they gonna flip it.
That would be crazy.
Ain't nobody doing that.
They're literally
crazy.
So they go buy what they can buy, and they go eat what they can eat.
And then
they'll pay cash for all the other stuff that they can't buy on SNAP. Just like they do all the electronics and all the other stuff.
They gonna sell
all the liquor and all the other stuff they buy on cash that they can't buy on SNAP.
Hey, I got EBT going. Hey, I'm trying to get.
Or they go sell it.
I'm trying to get some chips.
Yeah, that would be wild, man. Sticking with food. So there was a man who went on a date with a woman, and he said the date wasn't really going well. Like she went ahead and ordered some steak, and I want to say like some lobster pasta or some crab pasta, and she really wasn't paying him no mind on the date. She was more so in her phone. So then when she dropped her off, when he dropped her off, she gave him a half hug, and he kind of already realized, yeah, this ain't going nowhere else. I probably won't see her again. And she got the food to go, by the way. So as he got up the street, she called.
They get to go. She packed the doggy bag. All the food that she ordered, she didn't eat it.
My bad. Yeah, that's the food that she didn't eat. She basically got a doggy bag.
Yeah.
So like the food that was left over was in the car. So as he got up the street, she started calling his phone, and he saw it, and he noticed the food was still in the car, and he just basically ignored the call and went home.
And he put his joint on do not disturb. I got tears of laughter. He ain't wrong, because it's like he paid for the food, right? We talking about who pays. You can dictate. He paid for it, and it's like, hey, she was gonna pull this. Like she planned on it anyway. So you went on a date, all's fair in love and war. But you know, it's no knock to him. Oh, he should have gone back to the house. No. He literally put his phone on do not disturb. I probably would do the same shit. I ain't gonna lie. I do the same shit.
Yeah,
No tears, man.
I ain't got no tears either. Shout out to him because I wouldn't have brought it back to her either, especially like she not showing no attention. She's not doing what she's supposed to do. You paid for it, so technically that's your food. Like so, and it's first you got to turn around. That's gas. You got to turn around. No, I'm not. There's no reason for him to turn around. No, you ain't see the text message to the next day. You ain't see the phone calls to the next day. And it's like, oh no, nah, man, that food trash. Now, I'm like, my bad. I'll take you out another time if you want to see her again.
Yeah, man. I ain't got no tears, man. Let's just go back to what I said last week, man. Hey, you hoes, man. Y'all just might not like niggas, man. Like, yo, you shouldn't went on a date with the nigga if you just really wasn't feeling him like that. And homeboy, man, you dodged the bullet, bro. You dodged the bullet, man, because it sounded like she was just a hoe trying to get over, man. And you spent good money on that food. So
I hope he ate the food.
Yeah, hopefully, and that's what I would have did. Hopefully, you got to enjoy what was ever left over from the lobster, crab, pasta, and the steak, man. So, yeah, no tears on my end. I don't know what's wrong with these hoes. I don't know what's wrong with these broke, hungry bitches. What's wrong with these hoes? So, there was this group of friends. They went to Miami because they wanted to see the ball drop for New Year's. They went to a club. I don't remember if they said the club, but it was like 4 of them, and one of the girls was plus size from what they said. So when they got there, they were supposed to be getting free because they knew the club promoter or the club owner or something like that. They had a hookup. The bouncer looked at them and said, y'all three can get in for free, but the plus size girl, she got to pay $300. So they spent 2 hours outside the club trying to debate. Was they going to pay the $300? Was they going to break it up? Was they going to go somewhere else? So finally, a few minutes before the ball's about to drop, they literally say, hey, how about this? We'll pay for you to take an Uber back to the house or the Airbnb so you can watch the ball drop on TV, but we finna go in this club. So the plus size girl said, if I get in that Uber, we no longer friends. I don't know what's wrong with these hoes because it's so funny, man, because I don't even think this would happen with a group of niggas, to be honest. Like, first of all, a group of niggas wouldn't have the opportunity to get in the club for free. But I don't think I think a group of niggas just would have been like, okay, cool, we can't get in. Let's just go somewhere else. I remember we was in Savannah. It was me, D-Will, MGH, and C's. And I remember we walked to this club. It was like probably like maybe 1, 2 in the morning by now. And like we C's walk up to the bouncer to get checked in. That nigga looked that nigga dead in the eyes and said, oh no, you too drunk, you can't get in. Nigga, I got offended that they wouldn't let nigga get in because I had probably drunk just as much as you that night, if not more, to be honest. So I said, well, what about you? Can I get in? He said, oh, you good, big dog. I was like, nah, this some bullshit. And we just ended up going somewhere else. Like, I just feel like y'all was never really friends to begin with. Because the whole thing about New Year's is you should want to spend it with the people you fuck with unless there's like mitigating circumstances. Like, unless it's a situation where they got wives and kids and they gonna spend it with their family. But if y'all all single, like y'all should want to spend it with each other any fucking way. So yeah, that's just wild to me, man.
Yo, first point, man, Shorty wasn't bad to me. I was like, I think she said she was from New York or whatever. I'm like,
are you going to fat bitch?
She wasn't fat.
Yeah,
she wasn't.
I
don't think that was her.
Thick with 2 C's.
I don't think that was her because she wasn't the girl that made the video later on. That couldn't have been her. That couldn't have been her because that girl was not fat.
She was thick with 2 C's.
Yo, I looked all over the line to see if anybody was going to dispute if that was her or not because I kept looking. I went on her page. I said, yo, and I was able to find kind of one little picture where it was like she kind of fat in that picture, but she didn't look fat to me.
Me either. So I was like, that couldn't have been her.
She looked like a thick bitch with huge titties.
That couldn't have been her.
In Colombia, in Atlanta, in Houston, and in DR, she would have been considered a straight up bad bitch. Be like, the biggest they would have said, it'd be like, grande mommy, whatever. Big baby.
She in Atlanta, she would have been more of a hot ticket than the girl who made the original video.
No, she would have worked at Blue Flame and she was in Atlanta.
Making money. So, I mean, that was my main point. She didn't look big to me. But then again, we're talking about Miami. Miami clubs are known to cater to 2 groups. White people and Latinos. And then even with that Latino community, a lot of them are white themselves. So it's like, maybe they're looking at it like they're the bougie ass high end clubs where they only want skinny bitches with big titties that are fake, big fake titties. So I mean, it's shame on the club because you should have said the name of the fucking club. When you blast a spot out, say the name of the club. That's what we're doing in 2026.
But she wasn't trying to blast the spot out.
That's how you know it was fake.
She wasn't trying because the skinny girl had no problem with the club.
So I mean, and then our second point is in a group of friends, I agree with Verteezy. If we can't all get in, we not fucking going in.
No, we like that too. I'm sorry. Can I say that?
Yes.
We as women, we don't do that shit. Her friends ain't shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not taken away from the club if they did that on New Year's or whether or not they could have made a decision to leave or go. I don't know. Most of my friend groups, and I have different levels or different types of female friend groups. None of my friend groups, we would have been in that situation where my girls would have been like, all right, you got, I'm not a small girl. That would have never been like, oh, I'm going to send you back in the Uber. We're going to be here.
They would have cussed that dude out.
Know what kind of wreckage would happen outside of whatever club we was at.
What you mean she can't get in?
No, but the bitch, what you mean? I'm going to put you in an Uber and we going to stay here. Oh, that's not friendship. So it sounds like it. Yeah, no. I feel like, yeah, that shit was fake. That was staged.
I think so too, because the girl that
ain't no way.
What she look like, I don't believe it. I'm like, when I watched it, I had to stop watching it. I said, I can't even watch this no more. This ain't real. This can't be real. Like, you can't be the person they were talking about. You can't be this person. No, you can't. And I know because, and also like it could be a larger woman with some smaller women in the group, but when women travel from different states like New York to Miami, things like that, these women have money. So if they would have said, "Oh, you gotta pay $300," they'd be like, "Oh," they would have stunned nobody, paid $300, and then put them on film on live and said, "This dude try to play us, like we ain't got like clock that, this and that."
Or at most they would have walked away together, but ain't no way the divided and conquer thing would have worked out. That's some crazy shit.
And it's like, who said she can't come in? Was it the individual bouncer?
Yeah, she said the bouncer said she can't come in.
And then was it the club owner at the door?
No, you know the bouncers. You know the bouncer control the door.
Yeah. Especially like these like big clubs, the bouncers are told to try to be
keep the atmosphere the way they want the club's atmosphere to be.
So they select who can come in and who can't come in based off all that. But yeah, I agree with pretty much all of y'all, man. Like it was kind of crazy to see that shit because I just feel like, yo, man, y'all supposed to just leave together. But also, yeah, when I saw the bitch, I was like, yo, this can't be real, bro. This can't be real. Like,
it had to be mine.
Like when she started the video saying, "I'm the fat friend, y'all," I'm like, yo, this is an insult to fat people all over the world.
Yeah, because it started off with a picture on the video of the face, and then it gradually got wider to see her whole body. I'm like, hold on now.
We've been bamboozled, ran amok, hoodwinked, led astray.
And if it's real, girl, we need to drop the rest of the story because we don't believe it. I need to know what happened. Somebody had to get paid. Something had to have happened for you to tell part of the story. Just make me not believe it. So drop part 2, and then
we don't want part 2 because y'all whole trying to get y'all whole know TikTok got new bosses now. The bosses ain't paying as much as the old ones.
I'm gonna tell you why I do feel like this kid is real though, because of the original creator. You can't even find her shit. It's like she done pretty much blocked. She took the original video down, as well as her page is on private now. You know, where you can't even go find the shit.
Yeah, because she don't want the trauma.
Yeah, because I think she done took so much backlash
for lying,
for posting the original video. But you should have known you was gonna get some type of attention. If it's fake, you should have known you would get some. Maybe she thought you would get positive attention.
I think people always think they're gonna go viral. I think sometimes people just be so used to posting shit. I don't think they really in the moment think this is my moment to go viral. I think people do a lot of perpetrating.
Yeah, they don't, because I post some videos of my pets. I'm like, oh, this is gonna go viral. This is gonna go viral. It's like, nobody cares about your pets, Rose. Only you.
Moving on to the final topic of the night, talking about what people do care about. There was multiple videos sent in the group chat this week One with a woman saying, "Why isn't every TV show and movie there's like a random gay couple or transgender couple just throwing it there for no reason?" And then there was another man talking in the video, and it was kind of centered around, for those who watch Stranger Things, apparently a character came out as gay or whatever on the show recently, and it was kind of just talking about why is there being an agenda from the LGBT community being pushed into media. What's your thoughts on this?
Man, I do think there is an agenda. I just don't think it's as big and exasperated as people make it out to be.
It is.
But the caveat, I will say, in the cabals of Hollywood, they pushing some evil debauchery shit anyway. Because it's like you look at the people in Hollywood, Woody Allen and everybody on the Epstein files. They're literally, these are you hear about all the messed up stories from Hollywood from way back when to now and how messed up it is. I'm not going to say there's nothing there. It's something there. It's something there. And it's like, there's a lot of shows where it's necessary for the storyline. Like I was watching the episode of Spartacus. I was like, I don't want to see this shit, but that's what they did in them times. So I'm fast forwarding. Like I expected.
Okay, and like
And
Oz,
that's fair.
like Oz, like back in the day, you never saw nothing. But Oz was like one of the first ones that showed hardcore gay stuff.
That's probably where they shit started.
And it's like, but that was supposed to be real.
Yeah.
And it scared people, and they did a good job. But nowadays, it could be nothing going on.
And it's like
Stranger Things. Have y'all seen it?
Nah, I don't watch that show.
Yeah, so
but we've seen that scene with that.
So it's like he made it seem like, oh, if I don't come out as gay, this is going to cause the next episode. The whole episode is going. This is going to be a part of. It's going to be certain. There was nothing.
They looked at the nigga like, okay.
So he came out as gay. The next episode, Vector didn't. How was that going to expose? How's that going to ruin the whole world just because Vector know you gay? And he made it seem like if I don't say this right now, because it's going to. If I don't say this right now, then the whole world's going to end. If I don't say it, they said it, and it didn't matter if he said it. Vector didn't care that he was gay. Nobody cared that he was gay. Even his friends didn't care that he was gay. But his best friend, he was like, "Yeah, I got a crush on you, and this and this. I want to suck your dick, and I want you to pound me." His best friend looked at him and was like, "Oh, it's okay."
All right, that's when this shit took turns.
So the best friend was gay too?
No, his best friend was not gay, but he basically came out and was like, I'm in love with you.
Okay, that's when this shit took a weird turn because it's like the plot should have been he should have never said nothing to his best friend or had expressed a feeling. He should have just came out as gay, and then later on at the end of the series, at the end of the season, that's one of the plot points because they're teenagers growing up. You get what I'm saying?
But you also have to mention this is in the 80s.
I thought this was about monsters and shit.
But I'm saying they're teenagers. But they're teenagers though, so it's part of the plot. Am I wrong?
No, it wasn't part of the plot. It's just the fact that it was part of the person.
It's semi coming of age type.
No,
of
this is in the 80s though.
I get that.
This is in the 80s.
You got to keep that shit on the low.
Like in the 80s, like I'm talking about, this is so when there was a high school, and I want to say there was a high school in the early 90s. So I want to say they was graduating class in 92. So this is not I take back, it's not the 80s, it's the early 90s. So in the early 90s, it was no coming out the closet until you went to college. Until you moved off from your hometown.
That boy ain't right.
They're gonna think it, but you ain't never come out.
You never came out. Ain't nobody come out. No, there was no. There was nobody
go off to school and then come back, and then it would either be very, very obvious.
It was always obvious, but it was never a fact until they went off to school.
It's kind of like does it serve a purpose for the story?
And it didn't serve a purpose at all.
Right. That's what I said.
And I feel like that's the issue.
It didn't serve a purpose at all.
Is the alien on their ass or is the alien on their ass? I thought that's what we was talking about with Stranger Things. That's why I ain't never watched it.
Them niggas is aliens.
No, it wasn't an alien. It's just that
that's science fiction shit. Yeah. That's what I thought it was about. When y'all start talking about men and doing things.
Overall, I think that's probably like one of the biggest issues I've always had with this conversation is, you know, art imitates life, life imitates art. So if we're just gonna, if it's that's part of it, like if you just gonna say, hey, you know, gay people exist in the real world, there are transgender people, and we have them in this show or movie, and they're not a focal point. They're them being homosexual or transgender is not a focal point. They're just a neighbor next door. Like, okay, that's cool, whatever. You got a coworker that's gay, that's cool. But in some of these movies and TV shows, they use the alphabet community as a plot device.
They make it a point,
and that's what
dramatic.
It's on purpose. And that's when it becomes an issue where it's like, okay, cool. I don't understand where we're going here and how this moves the story along, and what's the message that we're trying to get across. Because what does this person being gay or transgender have to do with anything?
Can I add to that?
Yes, go ahead, and I'm gonna get you right after.
There is a thing in Hollywood. I don't remember the actress. I don't remember exactly who the actress is. She was doing an interview, and they were talking about the influence that, as Levert would say, the alphabet community has had on media. Not just in a sense. It's like, think about Hunger Games. Look at the fashion of the people in the Capitol versus everybody else. That's kind of like the metaphorical language that we use when we look at Hollywood. They went from just being the people inside the dressing rooms that did your makeup or your wardrobe. Now they're starring in stuff, and then they have influence to allow other young kids. Like, you got to think about it. That's a really, they're not kids anymore, but they're in that breeding ground where they're pretty young, like young adults. Mm-hmm. So yes, you're doing that on the TV show, but you as a character, what is that doing as you as an actor? That's now you introducing yourself to the world, unless it's just because of the show. Like, is that just the character he's playing, or is that really art imitate life, like Levert said? Like, I don't follow it enough to know, but that's what it sounds like.
But the thing about it with this, because this had nothing, like, if I can understand if it's part of the plot.
Correct.
This had nothing to do with the plot.
Right.
Like, they totally circled around the plot and made it seem like it was part of the plot. So so when you get this episode 8, you're thinking, oh, he's going to try to use this against him, because that's what he said. Oh, if I don't say this right now, he's going to use this against me, and we're going to die. Well, everybody needs to go die. It was brought up no more, other than a coming out scene in the early 90s. And it's like, that doesn't, and it's supposed to be like, is it going to happen or it's not going to happen? Like, I understand, like, there's gay people everywhere, and there's always been gay people everywhere. There's always been different alphabets of the community everywhere. But this is a show, and this show is not a rated R show or whatnot. People get killed in it, but this is a show for young adults. When this show first came out, all these kids was in middle school. So this was a middle school show. And they grown up, and they was like, oh yeah. So we go. They always said they had plots like, oh yeah, we always knew he was gay. But it wasn't to the fact that you had to take a spot at the most, this is the last season, the most important episode, because they only dropped episodes on Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. So you dropped an episode on Christmas, and everybody's going to watch it on Christmas, where it's Jesus' birthday. But yeah, we got to throw some gay stuff on Jesus' birthday, because that's only right.
Part of the plot,
man. And to what you're saying, like, there are movies and shows that center on these people's lifestyles, like a movie called, I remember back in the day, called Love, Simon, which takes high school kids and it centers on a boy basically coming out of the closet, and it's a really good movie. Like, it talks about real life situations. But when you get something like how you're saying with Stranger Things, or I remember when they remade the It movies. I saw the original ones in the 90s. One of my biggest things I did not like about the new one was the fact that they made one of the adults gay. Like, he had homosexual thoughts as a teenager, and then basically came out as gay as an adult. And it was like, this did nothing for the It, like, unless it was going to use his being gay as like to gain more power or something. Like, it did nothing for it. You know, I'm just saying it did nothing for us. Like, why is this nigga gay? Like in the 90s, his character didn't suck dick, but now in 2018, 2019, y'all want his character to suck dick. Like that's where it becomes problematic, and we see this throughout media. Like I remember watching Supergirl, they made one of the characters transgender, and I was like, why is the superhero transgender? Like, don't nobody give a fuck. Like, just beat the bad guy up.
In the first one, if he had gay tendencies, he was just gonna be masculine. In the second one,
but think about
they
it.
had to follow the storyline in that case, just that case.
Talking about in the first,
when they first remade it, he was gay, but he wasn't gay.
Yeah, in the 90s one, he wasn't gay. When they remade it in like the 2010s,
but in the first one, he had tendencies, but he didn't come out. Yeah, he wasn't gay. He wasn't gay.
He didn't come out.
He was just saying gay stuff. That's what people did.
That people with tendencies
but there was one part where in the first one he kind of was looking at somebody in a gay way. I can't remember exactly.
And then he was the one that killed himself in the
No, that was the Boy Scout. That was the other one who killed himself. The comedian was the one who ended up being gay.
The comedian was gay?
Yeah, the comedian ended up being gay.
But they didn't show no gay scenes though.
Now they didn't, but it was kind of like they just wasn't in your face with it. But when you watch it, you can see like in the first part of chapter it's like, okay, he kind of is thinking about this nigga. I can't remember exactly what day was in class, but you can see that he was having like some kind of like arousal from this nigga. Then the second one, basically just came out and said.
But in the first, it was the same thing. It was the same movie. They just redid it. He wasn't gay in the first one.
No. In the 90s one, that was never part of it. That nigga like pussy.
Yeah.
In the 90s one, in fact, even in the book, even if you read the book, in the book, all of them actually fucked the girl. Like, so from the book to the first movie, the 90s movies, there was no homosexuality in it. That's just my point. Y'all remade it. And y'all say, well, since homosexuality is a big thing now, we're going to make a character gay. Like, I've been watching Power Rangers when they made new Power Rangers. They made a yellow Ranger gay. Like,
when?
Yeah, it was a Yellow Ranger when they remade the Power Ranger movie, like, I say 8 years ago.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, it was a good movie. The Yellow Ranger that was, I think, Indian, she was Indian. They made her gay. And like, they made that a whole big thing about the movie. Like, but that's the point. Like, there's these movies and TV shows where y'all throw this shit in it.
Because of the original Power Ranger, she was an Asian.
Yeah, they made her Indian, though, instead of Asian. Or Mexican, one of the two.
They did that with a couple of my favorite shows. You got to look at even networking why they do that. Like, you remember ABC Family? ABC Family now is called what? Freeform.
Oh, okay.
Every show that was on at that time where I'm a teenager going into college, all of the shows that started off where it was just like a girl TV show. Oh, they're girls. There's some type of mystery.
Now they're
stuff that's going on. Now they're lesbians. Now they're, when they're starting exploring it, aging into this stuff. Or even they started putting certain shows on, like the American Sweethearts teenager stories. That was just her about being rebellious. It was like a more modern day Lizzie McGuire. But then the girl is pregnant. Now she's a pregnant teen mom in her household. And then think about it. They came out with Teen Mom. It was such a fad at the time to make that be the conversation with teenagers. So I get what you're saying. It's almost like they inflict.
Oh, yeah. I mean, because like at the end of the day, at one point in time, I say in the late 90s to 2012, some of these movies and TV shows that did push that agenda, it was needed. There was a lot of homosexuality or homophobia in the country. So some of this stuff was needed. Like you needed a movie like Brokeback Mountain because we just, the way we thought about that community was so repulsive in terms of the way we thought about them as less than humans. We needed that. In 2025, I
don't think we needed it because I don't think we looked at them as less community.
Yes, we did.
Because they was always in the church playing their tambourines.
There's a movie called A Soldier Story.
No, they was always in the church playing the tambourines.
My bad. There's a movie called A Soldier's Girl. It's based off a true story. C's might have known about this because he's in the military. It happened in 2002 where a group of soldiers beat up another soldier because he was gay.
Yeah. It happens all
the time. That's what I mean by, yes, these stories need to be told.
They don't
because even in the 2000s.
That story needed to be told, but in the 2002, but that's okay.
No, representation does matter.
That's
okay.
Does
need to be like,
that's okay.
Here.
It's okay, yeah or here. But who else is here? Black folks is here.
That's what I'm about to get to. Like, black people need their movies too. Like, all these stories need to be told, but don't force the story. because even as a black person, don't just throw a black person in a movie just to say it in a movie. Like, have a reason why this black person has this group of white
Yeah, don't
friends.
be the
But what
token.
even if your creators are starting to say that that's what the industry is doing, like that whole scandal about Tyler Perry and the guy that did A Queen's Men. Like, he's acted in Tyler Perry's plays for a long time, but now because of something he's created is turning into something that he don't agree with, which, like he says, he's introducing a lot of gay related topics to a show that I didn't want to be like that. So I think it happens no matter what the topic, what the genre is. That's a common thing across the board.
But it's not the fact that it's the genre. It is the genre because you can have it in adult films and adult shows.
Yeah.
But when you're pushing it on these kids,
everything like
and I don't blame the directors, like, because Lee Daniels is gay. He's one of my favorite directors, and a lot of his movies don't always have gay undertones. They're just movies. To your point, you might have someone like a Lee Daniels or a Tyler Perry, which not right now because he kind of his own man, but maybe like 8 years ago, when the studios be like, hey, we like that movie, but you got to put this in it. It's no different than like if a rapper creates an album and it's like, we need just one song where you talk about killing a nigga for us to release it. Like that stuff does happen and it doesn't get talked about enough. For some of this stuff to get released, they do got to make compromises. And to me, that's the issue.
They do them little things where they run those demographics to see what their target audience would want to see. So unfortunately, the other part of the conversation is they're only sending out what the environment and whatever their target audience is actually watching. What's your teenager in your household? If you got a teenager in your household, what they looking up on the computer all the time? We talk about it all the time. Your phone and your computer record everything. Now your computer know when you go to this website and you say you over the age of 18, if they ask you for your ID, you can't. So you ain't over the age of 18. So now I know what kind of rhythm, what type of stuff you search up, what type of things you look up. You didn't put your school login in the computer. I know that the person that used this computer is a teenager. What are they looking at? They're looking on YouTube at the same stuff that we think they shouldn't be watching. They're already watching it.
But this is the question. Are they looking at stuff because it's in that alphabet community, or are they looking at the stuff because it's just good storytelling? Because the show Pose, I watched that whole show.
Yeah, Pose was
a year or two ago.
Because
and let me keep it real. From a for people that don't like, homosexuality,
yes,
they might be like, I'll never watch a show like that. When I tell you the storytelling in that show, like that was an amazing storytelling.
It wasn't influence. It was to say, okay, if you're someone like me, this is what I went through. I'm not saying you're going to be like me. I actually don't even want you to be like me. Like, even when you watch it from that context, nobody on there is encouraging a man to be with a man or to be like that.
It's nothing like that.
They're actually telling you
they really just showing you
what they go through.
We have families like y'all have families.
Right.
We love people like y'all love people. We find community and we go through discrimination too.
But see, like he said, that wasn't created for kids though. That was created for grown adults.
But that's what I mean by what you were saying about what they're looking up. Yeah. Like if you get 15 to 20-year-old looking up certain movies and shows, just because it's a good movie and show, it just so happened to have gay people in it. Hollywood then may take those numbers and distort it and be like, oh, it's not the storytelling they're watching it because of the gay shit.
I don't know. I think we're a little naive. I think that's just what they're interested in. Like, being someone that's been around young adults for the period of time I've been in these last couple of years, like, just listen to their conversations. Just being in an atmosphere that they're in, they're talking about this not in a level of I'm influenced by it. They're talking about it like, this is what I like. This is what we live. This is what we're a part of. Now, they might have already been influenced.
And that's part of it too.
That might be at the cusp of our age. You know what I'm saying?
You get these TV shows and movies that target younger audiences, and it gets to a point like how we know how we know that this stuff is not influencing kids to become the teenagers that you're talking about.
I think it goes hand in hand with society. Like, as it changes, because it's like, okay, like basically what you were saying in the 80s, like 80s, 90s, how Oz and these different shows, and like we see what people are doing, what's the biggest thing, what's promoted. Now it's like, okay, being gay, being bi, whatever you subscribe to is okay, and it's trickled into, I don't want to say everything, but a lot of areas that we never thought it would be in. So it's crazy. Like, two cartoons, prime examples of Steven Universe. apparently one of the characters on there, the females, is gay, and then there was a relationship with our Adventure Time. Marceline, the vampire, had a girlfriend. I'm like
for that.
huh?
Why is that in the cartoon, for example?
And exactly, and they push it. They try to make it. They try to make it seem because guys always like, oh, if she's a girl, it's okay to be gay, but if the dude, it's not. But they try to push female. They try to push lesbians on you first. And the things like, oh yeah, she's a lesbian, so it's okay because she's a lesbian. Like Juice Man say, oh, Juice Man say, is she a woman? And she's gay. That's okay.
Everybody like look a little cat.
I mean, hey, bro, that's one of the reasons why I stopped watching SpongeBob as I got older, man, because it was like, yo, man, some of the stuff that he was doing was a little too suspect. And then some of these TV shows, I will say this, because I've said this to MGH, bro, they just don't have gay characters. They make the gay characters some of the coolest characters in the movie or TV show. To the point, to your point, Nicole, you might get a teenager who might be like, oh, being gay. I'm just saying. Because I done seen this shit where they make the gay dude the coolest nigga in the school. Like, he the coolest nigga in the school, and can't nobody move unless this nigga snap his fingers.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Think about how Ice Cube and Tupac and them had to fight for the thought process that people coined their music as the influence to the community. Like, rap music was destroying the community. It's not, y'all. Like, these people was telling their life story through their art. You have a lot of directors and a lot of writers that, unfortunately, the characters you see people acting out, it's no different. Where do you think Tyler Perry got all the movies and them shows from? That's what he saw around him. These people that's directing this stuff, that's them coming out to society saying, hey, I created this storyline. I'm going to go get these kids that we probably, like you said, already influenced. But whether it was generations ago or now, what we seeing now is just the results of what was happening in the 80s. Yeah, it's the same thing.
That's cool. But when Tyler Perry's first plays, there wasn't really gay people in it.
No, it wasn't.
There wasn't gay people in it.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, I don't think nothing wrong.
But who was, I will tell you, one of the main populations of people that was supporting him was the homeless, the gay community,
and women.
And the, like you said, the church.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So yeah, you incorporated them.
Yeah, so
or you was influenced for some reason to incorporate them. That part that's the conspiracy.
And there's nothing wrong with sprinkling them in there because they in society, they're in life. Like,
no, but sometimes they be sprinkled and it be like, you know how we say in hip hop or something, like there's a mole, like they came out of nowhere, they blew up and they were this.
That do happen.
A lot of times what it looked like in the movies, that's what make it weird to people, is because they look like the mole, like they were planted there. Like you said, like that didn't even make sense for your character to just have to pop out and be all.
Yeah, because we already knew you was gay. Yeah. So it's like, you didn't have to come out the closet.
Yeah.
Like, Robin didn't come out the closet. She just talked to you. And both of y'all are gay, so she didn't come out the closet. She didn't have a half episode or a quarter of an episode coming out the closet. It's just like she was who she was. Yeah. Everybody knew you were already gay from the point. There's no reason for you to say this, but they made it seem like, oh yeah, you got to do this because if you don't do this, everybody gonna die. In the next episode, he had nothing. There wasn't no gay stuff. Had nothing to do with nothing about somebody dying. You just wanted to take part of it, and y'all just wanted to push this on because you know it's the last episode. Let's get this in here.
But
let's get this in here.
I don't know if y'all ever seen Black Kate, but then it was like on the last episode where they kind of exposed that one of the characters, the reason why something had took place at the beginning of the movie was because one of the characters was a lesbian and she was in love with the main character of the show. I think that they inserted it at the end because it was the end of the story, but it was the way they incorporated it into the story. It was a main part of the story. Yeah. If this little boy in what season they watching now? What is this?
5.
If the baby wasn't gay from one middle school kid.
But he was, but
it wasn't
everybody
big
knew
of a deal.
It wasn't no big a deal.
Yeah, that's just weird.
It's like you had to make him come out of the closet. But like, you know how with Power, like Raising Kanan.
Yeah. That was
like
Juke, we already knew Juke was gay.
Yeah.
So Juke coming up, the whole time she was in the show, she was gay. But it wasn't what I'm pushing it on you. We all know she's gay.
Yeah.
We all know she's gay. Everybody know before the season even started, we know Juke gay.
Yeah.
But Juke wasn't doing no flaming gay stuff in the show.
Yeah, nah, I agree with that, man. I mean, one of my favorite shows, The Wire, like one of the female cops was gay.
Yeah.
And it was never a central part of her character.
Yeah.
Like maybe every once in a while you would see her with her wife, because she had a wife.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like, oh, look at her, look this
We're
bitch
gonna show a
titties.
scene where she,
You know, like it was just like, yo, this is just a part of it. And to me, that's really my final thoughts on, when it comes to the alphabet community and media. It's like everything is a reflection of life. Art is going to just show what happened in life. So you're going to have all these different stories being told. If you can tell the story in a good way where it's entertaining and it's thought-provoking and it's engaging, that's wonderful. And if you can find a reason why this is part of the story and how this is moving the story forward, me personally, I'm never going to be like, yo, you shouldn't have had this in the story. You shouldn't have had this type of person in the story. I do think representation is important. It's cool to have gay movies and TV shows because that community might want to watch that. I have no problem with that. But to just sprinkle stuff in regular TV shows and movies just for the sake of just doing it, that's when I feel like it becomes an issue. Like, I don't want to. I don't want us to get to the point where we're just doing that all the time. And that's what it seems like Hollywood is doing.
Yeah, my final thoughts. It's a movie. This is a show on Netflix. It came out last year. Wayward, and it's a show. The main character in the show is a trans man. So it's a woman that turned into a trans man. She had chest surgery and everything. So when the show first comes on, you're looking at it like the person looks like a man, but it looks like a woman too. So it's like, oh, is this a woman or a man? Like, so we're watching the show, and she's married to a woman, and the woman is pregnant. So it's like, no, it's probably is a man, but you're not really sure. So it's like, okay, so you get later on in the show, there's a sex scene between him and his wife. And then when the sex scene showed, trans man take off his shirt, whatever. He already had the chest surgery. And then when they had sex, the wife is basically, the man is laying on his stomach, and the wife is like basically just fingering the man. So it's like, and then after that, it's like, okay. So if you didn't know, I already knew because I had to look it up. I'm like, man, this person looks like a dude, but it don't look like a dude. So it's like, so I had to look it up. So they brought it out in the show, but then it never came to the fact that, oh, I am a trans man. They never said that. But they do nibbles in it like it was kids like, said, yeah, but he ain't got no balls. He can't do that. And the girl was like, I don't think he has any balls. It's just subtle things that they said. But if you didn't look it up, it kind of looked like a woman, but it was a man. So it's like, hold on now, like, man, the first episode you're looking like, man, is that a woman or a man? Like, so I had to look it up. I had to, who this character is. So I understood, but then they had a scene, like I said, a sex scene in it, but it seemed like they didn't push it on you. They didn't push it like, oh yeah, this is a trans man. Da, da, da. There was never no word about being trans or anything like that. He never said that he was a trans man in the show, but in the show he was a trans man. It's like, just let the show go. Like, and if it happens, it happens and things like that. But it's the fact that when you take time out of your show and write something that has nothing to do with the whole show, you got an agenda going on.
So I mean, don't studdle art, because art's gonna be art. Art's a reflection of life, and it's like there's paintings and sculptures throughout history that are always questionable. And I learn new stuff about history every day, and it's like, oh, in 1700, blah blah blah, this artist was depicted this, and it was da 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 da, and like, as far as some Japanese artist was gay or something and painted a picture, and people always looked at it weird, and it was like, oh, it explains why he was this way. So I mean, don't study the art, but it's like when you're pushing an agenda, it's a problem, and it's when it's in everything. It's like, does it move the story along? What does this have to do with the plot? It's just like I feel almost the same way when it comes to sex scenes. It's like now it shows that
Especially Tubi.
Nothing.
You watch Tubi, it's a porno.
It ain't got nothing to do with nothing in the plot.
Like, everybody get naked and start effing.
You see them one time. You see this chick one time. They have sex and she's never in the movie again. What the fuck? Like, oh, that was who his wife was. No.
What's the point of it?
It's like, what's the point? So it's like, if it doesn't add to the story and you just something you just throw in there, it's like, hey, anybody who says there's subliminal messaging, yes, we know. Everything else trying to do, whether it's somebody getting killed, gory stuff, people killing each other, people acting crazy and having issues and anxiety. There's agendas that Hollywood is pushing. It's like, if you control the media, you control people. You know what I'm saying? It's influence. So it's like, yeah, it's a thing. It's a real thing.
Hey, before we wrap it up, final thoughts, everyone.
Hey, I know y'all been watching the news. Venezuela, this is nothing new. History doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. So it's like, this is another situation. Apparently the oil is not as readily accessible as they say it is.
Of course not.
But this is geopolitics 101. We've said it time and time again. This president is trying to do whatever he wants to do. And there's agendas behind it, man. These oil companies, hey, if you're trying to get in the stock market, start looking it up. Do it now. Now's the time to do it.
Do it.
Defense contractors, all that shit. It's time to do it. It's also time to get your finances right. So, I mean, we got a multitude of things that we need to look at. But, hey, I seen a quote today. Hey, I'm not into politics, but guess what? Politics is into you. So it's like, hey, if you say it doesn't affect you, it does in some form, some fashion. I'm not saying go out and picket and riot and do, but start paying attention to what's really going on, and don't be scared. Like, if you're scared, like, what the fuck are you scared of? But it's like, pay attention to what's going on, man.
Yeah, man. Isiah Whitlock passed away recently, man. He was in Black Klansman, the movie. He had a small role, but it was a good role. He was in The Five Bloods, a movie that came out a couple years ago, Cocaine Bear, very funny movie. He was in that. He was in 2 episodes of Atlanta, but he's most known for playing Clay Davis, the Senator in the Wire, which is one of my favorite TV shows growing up, man. So, shit. In the words of Airbnb Rakim, peace.
Shout out to the monks. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing what y'all doing. Walk for peace. Other people need to start walking for peace and doing their thing, but y'all catch us at the next light, man. We in traffic. And I'm back quiet.
Mr. DJ Rose, Verkeezy, and C's, welcome you to the No More Black Tears podcast.
Black tears that's heaven sent. Barack the first black president. I love my black skin. I love walking in black excellence. Black power, let's represent. All black, that's evident. I'm sure MLK and Malcolm X both didn't die for the hell of it. Strap your seatbelt, go and settle land. What makes you think that we would sell our land? We wouldn't sell our land. What makes you think that we would go ahead and try to sell out then? No more black tears, black on black kids. Love us as is, love with passion. Paying black bills, learning black skills, making black meals. Black is backing. Big shout out to Fred Hampton. I'm black and proud like I'm James Brown, but I ain't doing no acting. My people here from the motherland. This podcast now active.